It's working? Okay. Hi guys, I'm Rebecca. I'm a student in engagement and outreach intern here at the Johnson Museum, and today I'm speaking from the first floor's gallery, which is often nicknamed the Face Gallery. If you can't get a guess from what's behind me, my friend Ernestine over there, that's actually the name of the piece, and the piece I'll be talking about today by Jean Dubuffet. So hopefully you'll be able to hear me. You're welcome. You can walk through. So you guys probably guessed it's still an active museum. So please bear with me. So this piece is probably one of my favorites to talk about here in the collection. It's called, and I don't speak French, so please forgive me, Bouche and Croissant, aka The Smiling Face, by Jean Dubuffet. So this is a piece made in 1948. So in 1948, what was happening in the world? Keep that in mind while I keep talking, because that's very important. So the first thing I usually ask people when I'm on an in-person tour is, what does this remind you of? What does it make you feel? If you want, you can take a moment, pause the video. There's a link down to a good picture of it in the description below, and you guys can take a couple moments to think about it yourself. So my answer when I first saw this piece was that it looked like a child's drawing. And my reaction was that it didn't make me happy, that's for sure. It might be a smiling face, but it's not a happy one. And to an extent, that is indeed on purpose. So this piece was made in 1948, like I said. And at that time, the world had just gone through two insanely devastating wars. I mean, you had World War I and World War II. On top of that, at least in the American context, you had the Great Depression. The world was a mess. And many artists, like Jean Dubuffet here, who was French, from France, not only lived through the war, but he also fought in it. And like many other people at that time, he was trying to process what was happening. And as part of that process, a lot of artists just tried to address this depravity, this lack of humanity they would have had to go into not be one, but two massive world wars on top of the Holocaust. So there was a lot of just negative emotions that needed to be processed. And also just trying to come to terms with this much darker side to humanity that a lot of people either didn't recognize or didn't want to recognize, and now they all had to. So, how did Dubuffet did this? So he kind of took a step away from traditional art and began to advocate for what he called an anti-cultural stance. And by doing this, he wanted to look at and celebrate what he saw was the very raw and honest emotion of artists and people from groups that were usually marginalized by society or considered to be outside the realm of fine and popular art, namely children, prisoners, and patients in insane asylums. So in order to kind of continue with this non-traditional approach, he also used non-traditional materials. It's kind of hard for you guys to see this, but so this piece is actually made of plaster and sand that he scraped at with paint mixed in so you could get the strong color that you can see very easily on this video. And so there's this very tactile, very brute force look to this, which is kind of appropriate. The name gave to this non-traditional anti-cultural art was called art brut, which in English roughly translates to raw art. And that very much is a play on just the raw emotions and material look he would go through with his hack and slash method to art making. So what's going on exactly in this piece? So like I said earlier, my first impression was that as a children's drawing. You guys may have had that too, or you might have your own impressions. That's at least what I think is one of the awesome things about art. You can kind of think of it however you want. But in the case of this piece, there is a source of inspiration we can point to. So this piece is actually drawn based on Dubuffet's studies of children's drawings from children in insane asylums put there after the wars. So with that in mind, take another look at the piece. And especially think about that smile. What do you see there? A fun trick I like to teach people when I'm giving them tours is to stand back from the piece, put your hand up and kind of try to block the smile out so you just see their eyes. To me, to use the popular phrase there, it looks like he is, internally screaming. Those eyes are not happy, and when you take that smile away, which is this outward expression of happiness, you get this idea of this inner turmoil, which we can, or at least in my case, I like to interpret as being Dubuffet's way of addressing that just emotional conflict that he and many other artists were having at this time. And what really shines about this piece, and not just because of its very intellectually and emotionally complex subject matter is how he gets that in a way that you don't need to know what the piece is about to understand it. This piece is just incredibly materialistic. When you look at it in person like I am now, you can literally see the marks where he and whatever tool he would have been using were actually physically hacking at it. So there's this very materialistic, brutal, even desperate look to the motions of the artist. The artist's hand, as it's often termed, is very visible. And because of that, that sheer materiality of this piece becomes a sort of emotional outlet, an emotional signal to which we can orientate ourselves, and then we can actually learn about the piece and feel the piece. So, I'm sorry this is more of a heavy subject matter, guys, but this is one of our star pieces here at the museum and one of my favorite to talk about. So I hope you enjoyed my talk. It's been roughly 6 minutes, so thank you guys for hanging in there for all 6 minutes. Again, there's plenty of videos, expect more in the future, and again, I'm Rebecca. I'm with the Herbert F. Johnson Museum at Cornell University, and thanks for spending the time with us. Bye!